Thank you. And I would like to courteously disagree with Mr. Griffin in that sometimes it is about the money, right? Yeah. Yes. You know, how many of you would like to be free of the cumbersome, onerous, fair tax, not fair tax, but tax that we are under today? How many want it gone? Yes. All of us. Independence Day is a great day to talk about the fair tax. And we want freedom also and independence from our government and their intrusion into every aspect of our lives. And it's getting worse. You know, in 1995, a group of economists gathered together, spent their own time and money to find a better, simpler, more fair way to fund our government. It took them 3 years and $15 million of their own money, and they came up with a fair plan, hence the name fair tax. Let me tell you that the fair tax, what it is not a tax added on to the tax that we already pay, which is one of the myths of the fair tax. It's not a flat tax, which still taxes your income. It's not a value-added tax, which is a tax that's added on from the beginning of the process of manufacturing until it ends up in your house or on your table. It is a revenue-neutral, national consumption, retail sales tax paid at the point of purchase on only new goods and services. H.R. 25 is the House bill number. This bill has been languishing in committee since 1999. Our goal is just to get it out of committee and on the floor for discussion. Why do you think politicians don't want this bill out? Right? They would have no leverage then. You know, sometimes the tax code is called a burying ground. You can assist those people that you want to assist, or you can destroy those people that you want to destroy, right? So there was one single sentence that brought us to this mess, and that's called the 16th Amendment. It was drafted in 1909 and made into law in 1913 by a dubious ratification process, and one single sentence gave Congress the power to assess an income tax on the American people. Now granted, it was only a 2% tax on the wealthy that made more than $4,000 a year. And it has led to a 67,500 page behemoth that we call the tax code. How's that working for you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, the fair tax, in addition to abolishing all of the deductions from your paycheck, you would take home 100% of your paycheck, because it replaces the present income tax with this national retail sales tax that I told you about. It replaces the key word. It doesn't add to it. It takes out what is an embedded tax in everything that we purchase and plugs in a fair tax. So a $100 item would still cost you $100, but you would have 100% of your paycheck in your pocket. Sound good? Let me hear it. Yeah. Yeah. The first thing we have to do is repeal the 16th Amendment. That has to come out of our Constitution before we can do anything. Let's hear repeal the 16th Amendment now. Yeah. Another thing that the fair tax would do is it would tax all of the underground economy that we don't get now. It would tax all of the illegals. It would tax all of the visitors to our shores, because every time a purchase was made, the tax would be paid. The $11 trillion that is in offshore banks right now, because of the second highest corporate tax in the world, 38%. Can you blame businesses for leaving their money overseas? The administration wants that money back because they can take 38% right off the top. I probably would park my money overseas too. So that money, that $11 trillion, would eventually come back to this country. And quite possibly, the label Made in America would come back. When's the last time you picked up anything and it said Made in America? Yeah. We want it back. Bring back USA, exactly. So, and monthly, those that in the lower income brackets and every family in this country would receive what we call a prebate. They would be reimbursed for taxes paid up to the poverty level. And this would be determined by the number of people in the family, not by income. For example, the poverty level right now for a family of 4 is about $26,400. That means that family of 4 every month would get a check for about $496 to reimburse them for taxes that they had paid. They can do with what they want. If you'll remember, I said the tax is only on new goods and services. You buy a used car, you shop at consignment shops, you pay no tax. That's your money. Does that sound good to get a check every month? Yeah. Yes. But you know, it's going to take every single person here and millions more to wake Congress up, to let our politicians know that we know what they're doing and that we are fed up with it. Are we fed up with it? Yes. You know, Thomas Jefferson, who was so ahead of his time, once said, "A government big enough to give you everything that you want is strong enough to take everything that you have." He was so ahead of his time, and it's so true. It's happening now little by little, and we cannot sit idly by and let it happen. We have to stop talking and become doers. And thank you very much for listening.